Welcome to Go Fund Yourself. Watch up-and-coming entrepreneurs step into the spotlight to pitch their businesses to you. This is interactive TV. Like what you see, scan the on-screen QR code with your mobile device and invest in these businesses in real time. You decide whether to help these entrepreneurs' dreams come true or tell them to go fund yourself.
People are going to want to be behind you.
You need to show that up front.
Meet the titans ready to ask the questions you, the investors, want answered.
How do you make money?
Creator of Go Fund Yourself, Rory Kataya.
It makes sense to crowdfund something like this and get in now.
Jason Waller.
If you got nothing for cats, I'm out.
David Meltzer.
Things will go viral very quickly.
This isn't just entertainment.
Because there is a huge opportunity.
Gotcha.
I'm available to pitch this for you.
And now,
That's what I said.
it's time to go fund yourself. Our guest titan, global corporate strategist Vanessa Luna, is here to help welcome Peter Reese from ReLeaf.
ReLeaf is a solar roofing cooperative. We help the average homeowner get a beautiful solar roof. The only boundaries we put in our path are in our own head. Hello, I'm Peter Reese, Chief Technology Officer of ReLeaf. We make getting a beautiful solar roof simple and affordable for the average homeowner. You see about half of the 5 million homeowners every year who need a new roof want solar, and about 1 million sites are really excellent places for that. No matter how you resegment the traditional asphalt roofing and residential solar markets, you have a total addressable market well in excess of about $30 billion a year. The problem is that no one until ReLeaf has made a building integrated photovoltaic shingle that a roofer can actually install without becoming an electrician or subcontracting expensive labor resources. So we've designed and patented and are now commercializing a system that trained roofers in our cooperative can install with their existing roofing resources in about half the time and for half the cost of the competition. The solar, which is manufactured right here in California, is mounted in a backplate. That same backplate platform is shared with the non-solar aesthetic shingle needed for the shaded areas. Within that backplate is a raceway for the wires, and that replaces the conduit, the wiring, and the connectors that normally an electrician would need to manage on the roof, and a lot of them are scared of heights. So in the same way, we have the enclosure for all the electronics that the roofer can mount in the roof and secure it in the decking, and it stays at 0 volts until the electrician plugs it in and turns it on. I have it turned on. So really just the point of interconnection to the loads and the grid is where the electrician is needed. So
What about connecting to the utilities? Do you guys handle that? Like, what does that process look like? Because the reason I ask this is Dow and Tesla rolled out their products to solar companies first, and some roofers, right? And it's a great model. Two things. One, what's the difference between Dow and Tesla's shingles to yours? I think I already know, and then two, explain what that looks like. You do everything except the plug-in. They've got to sub that out, but then they still got to fill out the utility form, the interconnection.
Aesthetic Green Power, they're our friends. They've been doing this for 20 years, and they're the first ones to say, okay, you need the solar, you need the electrical, you need the roofer, you need, in this system, a plumber. You need those 4 different crews to coordinate. Whereas our system, you only really need the one, and those are roofers. So that's how we can keep our cost low on the installation side. You also referred to the interconnection. That's a really big issue because while almost all utilities are required to provide an interconnection, they have many ways of making that extremely painful.
And long.
Yeah. And many jobs have died in the interconnection agreement phase. So we've actually designed our system to have an automatic transfer switch. Well, there's actually small batteries in here, so it's like a whole home uninterruptible power supply.
Someone getting a new roof and someone getting that roof, is the cost pretty much close to the same?
Yes.
That's what's important. Okay, go ahead.
Without solar.
Without solar. That's the key.
Yeah, so your average house in, maybe 2,000 square feet, if it's south facing or even east-west facing, we can put 10 kilowatts, maybe even more, for under $50,000. It's going to pay back in California in probably 5 years. Minnesota maybe 10.
Your payback that you just referenced was for the cost of the entire roof.
Correct.
And solar.
Not the differential, if there is any.
And that's before any incentives.
Right.
Right.
So I wouldn't even be thinking about that. If I got to put on a roof, I got to put on a roof. That's a
Because if you
sunk
just
cost.
bought a roof, there is no payback.
Right.
I buy a
Exactly.
roof,
That's my
there's no
point.
payback. I buy a roof with solar.
I
there's
mean, it's
payback.
like buying a car and getting leather.
So that's actually pretty incredible. I mean, that's the strongest,
Because it's a
absolutely
different business
strongest
model.
value proposition
But
here,
it's a
right?
different business model. You're not selling and competing against every other solar company. You're just like, hey, there's so many people that need to replace the roof. Why not replace it with solar for barely any extra cost?
Can people invest in this business, or are you really here because you want people to see that this is available?
Really both. We just closed on a pre-seed round, friends and family, and we're opening a seed round for, $2 million to expand our cooperative nationwide.
How much was a friends and family round?
It's about 200,000, about half me and my sister.
Okay, cool.
Yep. So we do have skin in the game, right? If that's a follow-up question. But I was in Altadena yesterday and met with a couple people, and they see the value in building solar into new builds, because there's about 7,000 homes that need to be rebuilt in Altadena alone, not to mention the Palisades and Malibu, right? So we're already making plans with her to ship 100 houses worth of solar to Altadena, maybe as soon as starting next week. So we're
I could
pretty
imagine it
excited
not
about that.
being an acquisition target in minutes.
Absolutely. So, Vanessa, you're building a house now. What do you think of this?
Yeah,
thing?
absolutely. So exactly what he said. My question, because I'm building a house myself now, is how do you reach the consumer? And it sounds like the Titans were giving you some really good marketing tactics on how do you reach out to someone that's not as astute as Jason on solar.
I don't know a lot of things, but I know that.
When a homeowner needs a new roof, they don't call the solar company, right? They call the roofing company. And every single roofer we've ever talked to, even ones that aren't part of our cooperative yet, say, hey, it would be great to have this in our arsenal alongside GAF and Certainteed and maybe Tesla. Those who can't spend $300,000 on a Tesla roof can spend $50,000 or $60,000 on an energy relief roof.
Because your cost is almost at parity of a normal roof.
Right.
And that's what makes you unique. That's a no-brainer to target that. Our old company did it the opposite. We sold solar. Oh, you need a roof? Okay, we'll create a roofing company and give you a roof at wholesale. You're doing it the reverse of that, which I love. Is like, you need a roof? Guess what? We can get you solar for around the same cost. This is fantastic.
How's the output? Is it the same as Tesla?
We patent the obvious things, the size and installation of our product, right? We keep as a trade secret the exact recipe that allows the ultraviolet light to be redshifted to visible light, so we get some bifacial gain from the backside. So it hasn't been tested in a lab yet, but we believe we can get close to 30% with that bifacial gain.
So it's producing more than Dow and Tesla, obviously.
Yes, absolutely.
He's saying 30% more or
Yeah,
so.
the cell itself, 25 or 26% with like heterojunction N-type, which we're gonna, there's cells that are gonna be made in Minnesota, not by us, but close friends of ours, that we're gonna have some capacity in their new plant that they're building. That coupled with the refractive backplate, we're gonna have close to 30%, we believe.
This has batteries built in.
Correct.
So in an outage, you don't have to have some Tesla battery pack on the side of your house to store the energy that the solar is generating. It's already built in. Jace, am I off base with this? But that just sounds like a major differentiator.
Most people that are getting solar now automatically are bundling the battery too, because like in California, it's mandatory.
But that's an additional cost though,
right? There is a cost to it. And they're just putting it all in one package saying this is the deal. What's nice about this is the cost is so efficient. It's at parity with a roof and you're getting the battery. So yes, it's a big deal. It's a huge deal.
This has batteries built in.
Yeah, most outages are relatively short, like an hour or so. So by having, say 5, 6, maybe 10 microinverters, people will have, 5 to 10 kilowatt hours of power, which it's enough to keep the lights on, enough to keep the furnace blowing or in a really
For how
hot
long?
day. Well, it depends on, you know, if someone runs
Well,
their
the
air
sun comes
conditioner,
back out, it
maybe an
starts
hour,
producing
right?
again.
Right.
Yeah.
But so in a blackout and you just want to be able to keep the lights on, turn the AC on every once in a while, keep your refrigerator going. Just the basic stuff you need.
Probably 5 hours. If someone really is conscious about what they're doing, right? They go to bed early when it gets dark and, you know. And it depends on the battery chemistry, right? So lithium would go longer. Lithium has conflict minerals and international trade issues. So we're exploring making a different type of battery chemistry, part of our trade secret in New York, which would be much less expensive, all domestically sourced materials.
How many of these have you installed?
Well, we've installed the Dow Powerhouse system. We've installed it on 6 projects, so we know that works. We do not have our final, you know, our new product
That's okay.
in hand, right?
So you're not ready for it. That's
But,
what, I
yep.
just want to understand where you're at on that.
When will you?
October, November.
And do you need the capital from this raise to make that happen?
So 250,000 will get us our first 500 shingles, right? Our first run, right? The first stuff off the line is the most expensive. And then the next 500,000 will go to building inventory. And then, yeah, so that's what the first 250,000 is going to be.
And how many
used for.
shingles are required for a 2,000 square foot roof?
200 would be, you know, 200 is going to be well enough, well over 10 kilowatts.
Okay. I thought this was pretty interesting. I think
too.
people are going to be all over this. You know, and you must connect with Jason in terms of scaling this thing.
Yeah.
Well done. Great. Really
job.
interesting.
Really good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just finished my pitch on Go Fund Yourself. The Titans, of course, wonderful. And Jason actually came up to me afterwards and said, here, reach out to me on LinkedIn and I can help you scale. So I am feeling cautiously optimistic.
5 hours? 5 hours of power? Is that comparable to a regular solar?
It's not, but he's not trying to compete with regular solar companies, right? Instead of getting just a plain roof, you have an opportunity to get a solar roof, you know, with energy relief and be able to make a difference and impact the world and then be able to get a return on that roof.
If you can afford it, everybody pays a little bit extra to get leather seats. No one's approached the business this way because they didn't have the technology. There's a lot of big billionaires out there that would love to own this technology and implement it into their roofing business, construction business,
Yes.
building business, etc.
That's the play for him, I think.
a lot of potential here.
Crowdfunding expert Sarah Hardwick and president at LaunchBoom Will Ford will be sitting in with our Titans as we welcome Nicholas Fratantonio from iByte.
I'm a repurposed dentist, practice still. There were times when we were approached to help identify people through their remains and their dental records. And that was very morbid and disturbing to me. Human beings are the most valuable things on our planet. So I did a deeper dive into the realm of missing people and children. Hi, Titans. My name is Dr. Nicholas Fratantonio, a dentist of 42 plus years. Every 40 seconds, a child or a teen is abducted in the United States of America alone. 35 million people go missing worldwide, abducted or trafficked every year. How can this happen? The current solution is your iPhone and a wearable, but they both can be easily detected and discarded by the abductor. So in comes iByte, a groundbreaking innovation in personal security. It is a tracking wearable that is virtually invisible, inseparable from the user, tamper-proof, and can't be spoofed. It's installed on the side of a molar tooth. You sync your smart device with the app, and now it allows iByte to authenticate the user and their location and their identity for a swift emergency response. This device is integrated to the body. It's a physical anchor that can't be forged. So the cost is $150 for the device. That's freemium, and you get tracking and location and authentication. And then we have a subscription model for the premium, which adds medical device, critical information about condition, allergies, medical issues.
Definitely put on my pet.
Dave has a really good point.
The pet audience might be the ideal buyer and might allow you to move a lot more volume a lot faster.
I don't necessarily disagree with you. However, there's already competition. They've got collars for pets that are very inexpensive. They work really well,
They have
and
chips.
they're not putting something into their mouth.
I think you need to start with people. How dangerous is it with it in their mouth? People are going to worry about, am I getting cancer? Does it have aluminum in it? Does it have plastic in it? What is it? What metals? What does it do? Those are the concerns, I think, that if you could lead with that, like, hey, this is a product that does X, Y, Z, and it's super safe, and it's not,
That's a really good point, yeah.
Because that's going to be the barrier where it's like, I don't know if I want that in my kid's mouth, but if all that's overcame, I'm lined up and my kids are getting that in their mouth immediately.
$150, I mean,
So
come
a
on.
couple factors. 75 to 80% of parents are already tracking their kids, period. I did a survey with 400 people, 200 pet owners, 200 parents. They all said that they would purchase this device because of a couple things. 100% safe. It's embedded in a composite material, completely neutral. It's Bluetooth enabled. Bluetooth wavelength does not disrupt the cell membrane. No damage there. And it was intended for direct to consumer. We're gonna package this so they can put it on their own child's tooth in 90 seconds or less. I have a video of how that's done.
Whoa.
Also, I've been going to the dental trade shows all around the country, the biggest, getting dentists on board. I want them to provide this service in their practice.
Yeah.
So if somebody's uncomfortable doing it and their kid's a little wiggly, or an Alzheimer patient isn't cooperative, or a memory care, then they could go to the dentist.
Alzheimer's patients, just stop there for a second. Every day I'm getting an alert on my phone that somebody's mother or father or grandparent is lost, help us find them.
How long does it last once you install it? Like, do I have to replace it every year?
It is self-charging capability, which means it doesn't need a docking station to charge this device. I've been working on this for 5 years, and the technology is evolving beyond my comprehension.
Well, how does it charge?
about
What do you mean
upgrades?
self-charging?
Solar.
It's energy harvesting. So what happens, there's a capacitor in there that wakes up every couple seconds and gobbles up ambient Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and charges the battery fully and then goes to sleep again.
Can we just see it? It looks like you've got something there. Is that what it looks like? Can we please
This is a
just see it?
model. I do have a model.
We're all pretty excited about this. We
It's
want to
not
see
the
it.
prototype.
So same size?
No, this is
Obviously, it's
embellished
a
a bit,
tiny-
but the technology, so that little thing laying over there, you peel it off. It's got Velcro on it.
This Velcro comes off
please,
too?
because you got
Okay.
nails.
Ah.
So that
that's
is the
what's
device.
on your, so you don't feel it in your mouth
No,
because it's the cover. Yeah, okay.
So where are you in this life cycle of your business? Are you ready to start actually selling this product? Where are you at?
The prototype is in our final refinement. I'm pre-revenue, but we did finally initiate a pre-sale thing because I can't get capital unless I show traction, and I have traction. I have 7 patents. We've accomplished this. We can do this. It's doable. We have about $400,000 invested this already between myself and another family member.
How much money are you trying to raise?
I need seed money of at least $500,000 to get me to a Series A.
Does that get the product into the market?
Yes, it should cover manufacturing. It should cover our pilot test in our dental, because we're going to pilot test this too in our dental practices. And then we're going to, we're still marketing this beyond belief. We are on social media pretty heavily.
People are going to be watching this, right? And they're going to say, holy molar, I really want this for my kid. And, and they're going to have all their reasons. And I think this is going to be big. I want to invest now.
Yeah.
Are you going to be able to take money from people now?
Yes.
And when can people reasonably expect that this is actually going to be in the market?
Probably 2 months is my...
2 months sounds insane to me.
From now.
2 months from when he gets the seed
when he
money.
raises money.
I'm sorry,
when you raise the money.
But that seems too short.
Dr. Nick, what I would honestly do if I were you, I would go raise the $500,000, but I'd do it in pre-sales on Kickstarter. Because now you've just validated that there's demand, you've pre-sold $500,000 or more, and you've given up no equity.
But people are watching this and they want to invest right
Okay,
now.
okay, okay.
That's the thing.
But I think you do a
I think you do
combo.
both.
I do a
Yes, you
combo. If you
absolutely do
invest
both.
this much, you get this product and maybe a discount on the subscription.
That's what I agree.
That's what
I agree with that.
we have
and
incentives.
you would get the investment and the proof of concept.
Totally right.
Listen, I ran 5 dental practices and grew it to 7. I know business. I don't know an entrepreneurial one person with an idea this massive.
He needs to license this to someone who could manufacture and distribute and already has those kinds of capabilities, not try and do this himself.
Because he has the patents.
Yes.
Right.
I see that as being a gigantic near-term opportunity for
I
you and
agree.
whoever invests in this. People want to see a prototype. They want to see a working prototype. Until then, they're not going to take you seriously. So you need to get it built.
Yeah, so it's not
It's
built
not
all
going
the
to
way.
be 2 months to market if he doesn't have a prototype or a pilot.
And then my exit strategy too is to do exactly what you said, find the big boys that have the tooling and the R&D and make it better and better
And the
and
marketing
better.
budget.
Yeah, and the customer
then
support.
I love
we
the
could get
name,
10
though.
times
The
our-
name's great too.
Yeah.
iByte.
Did you trademark iByte?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
I think this is an extraordinary opportunity. You're going to need some time to think through your best path forward. And we'll be in touch with you to try to help you out.
That would be
I
fantastic.
think we're going to probably want to bring you back on the show in maybe 4 or 5 months. Thank you very
thank
much
you.
for your
I
time.
appreciate it.
Beautiful.
Thank you,
Beautiful.
guys.
Beautiful stuff.
Well, truthfully, I was a little nervous, but they were so gracious and humorous. They got me going. They tickled my funny bone. They got me relaxed. I could see their energy just boiling, and it made me feel really good because that's what I wanted. I want to get this out to people and save lives.
I think he's got a really cool product. I just feel like he's super, super early.
I would absolutely do this. And I think there's a major market for it. I think he's got a great idea, great concept, but he's going to need some help.
You know, he can build a movement around this, but he's got to get that one step forward. And then I feel like the story will really just rise with him.
I think we collectively should try to help him. And then let's have him back in 5 months or so and see where he's at. And I think then he becomes a prime candidate for serious funding. Hi, I'm Rory Kataya, the creator of Go Fund Yourself. And a little bit about where did Go Fund Yourself come from. Any entrepreneur trying to raise money, go into the capital markets, and even if you can, the terms on which those funds come to you are something that will come back and haunt you. Having experienced that, understand it, and then at the same time discovering crowdfunding, equity crowdfunding, extraordinary opportunity. So we wanted to bring that opportunity to the masses. Let other entrepreneurs learn from our experiences, our mistakes, our successes. Show them how there is a path forward to finance your business. But more than that, exposing to the average person that there are these extraordinary investment opportunities out there that they would never ever see. These are the kinds of investment opportunities that are only available to the insiders, the sharks, right? And this show gives that person the opportunity to experience that. And at the same time, it gives these entrepreneurs the ability to raise capital on terms that are fair, that they dictate. We take great pride in that we're able to provide this kind of opportunity for people that are looking to invest and for the companies that are looking to raise capital. Go fund yourself.